What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we are doing our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency world because, gosh, crypto is the biggest opportunity over the next year or so, and it's not even close. Welcome along on the journey. We're pumped to have you guys. Corey, take it away.
Good morning, Hexicans. How are we doing today? Welcome to the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we cut through the BS, we cut through the narratives, and we deliver what we think is high-level content. You guys decide for us, though. Let us know how we're doing. You guys vote with your subscribes and likes. Go ahead and hit that bell notification, hit the like, and we're truly blessed to be on this journey where we're using cryptocurrencies, that wealth creation tool to change the trajectory of our family tree, and then use some real estate to preserve that wealth and capture it. So that way we can come back in the next bear market and buy those lows. And I'm super excited, man, because it looks like Pulsechain and Pulsex. Now, those are the main charts I look at. I also look at the ink chart, but that always looks bullish. So I got to stop looking at that thing. But Pulsechain and Pulsex look like on the 4-hour, they're making lower highs or higher lows, however you say that. It looks like structure is changing on the 4-hour. So is this it? Are we going to shit? We are in the new month. The monthly candle obviously closed last month. We were in a red. We needed a red monthly candle, to be honest with you, because we had pumped for so many months since the bullish news of the year. This looks like, to me, yeah, look at that, Dane. That looks like a reversal to me. Now, a whale could come in and smash it down if he wants to. There are guys that have enough economic energy. They can do whatever they want with this chart. But to me, I like the structure it's building down here. Maybe this is a local low, not financial advice. But if you're thinking about doing some DCA, I know obviously if I was thinking about doing some DCA, and this might be a level that I would like to go grab some of these assets at. Because once it changes it around, I mean, where's it going to go from there? Hopefully it goes and finds new levels above our local all-time high. And, yeah, we're here for it. I think April, man, is going to be a green month. I do. And I could be totally wrong. And then we could end up being a red month. I mean, this is the Bitcoin halving month. And we are probably going to see Bitcoin have a little bit more sell pressure. The Silk Road Bitcoin just got sent to the Coinbase exchange. So we're probably going to expect some sell pressure from there. Richard Hart's always talked about that. It was funny how, he's been talking about that for years now. And now we're seeing that kind of play out. And we'll see what it does to Bitcoin. But historically, Bitcoin does a 39% drop from its local high before it does its real parabolic bull run. So we'll see.
Yeah. And we do. We've got a little, this W is trying to make its way out of here. Yeah, can it break this and come up higher? It'll be interesting to see, but it'll be exciting. The Bitcoin, correct me if I'm wrong, Corey, they did a test transaction to Coinbase to send over funds. I think it was less than $100. I don't think the money has actually made its way over there yet, has it? Do you know?
I don't think it's there yet. It hit in the news yesterday that they had reported that they're going to send it.
Okay. Basically. I liked Nuclear Herbs made a tweet. If you're not following Nuclear Herbs, you should. He does incredible updates on the legal stuff regarding Richard Hart's case with the SEC. And if I'm not mistaken, Corey, he's an attorney in real life.
He is. Right? He's retired. He's done practicing. He's like us, Dane, a recovering attorney. We're recovering real estate guys, and that's exactly how he introduced himself in Vegas. And but he still goes deep into all the law stuff that's going around. I mean, he's deep in the world. Right.
Yeah, but he made a tweet. He's like, if I was Coinbase, once they send the funds, I'd freeze the account and say, sorry, now that we're since we're in legal trouble with you guys, we don't know if this is a legal transaction that we can make with you sending funds over here. So your accounts are frozen until further notice, until we have clarity around this issue. I thought that was.
And why the hell not, man? Let's go. Give them a taste of their own medicine.
It's just, can you imagine? Like, seriously, I don't understand. It just blows my mind that they could be in a lawsuit with Coinbase, but yet using them to be able to go and prepare to dump that Bitcoin onto the market. It's like somebody coming into your house, sleeping with your wife, and you being friends with them. What do you mean? No, we're not doing this. What do you
No, no, we're not doing this at all. Oh my God.
So
That's
that'll be interesting to see. That would give us the pullback leading into the halving that typically happens every single bull run up to this point. Now the halving, as far as actual impact on price performance at this point on Bitcoin, there's already like 18 million of the 21 billion, 18 million of the 21 million Bitcoin, they've already been mined. So the having is more a psychological factor more than anything. And it'll be really interesting to see how these patterns continue, how they continue to work. And we're here for it. It's exciting.
what's interesting to me is you have a lot of these like big mining companies that barely stay above water, for mining their Bitcoin. And then the halving comes, and then you have literally you get as half as unless you double your hash power or hash rate. Like that's expensive to do. Like, and you've already got this multi-million-dollar operation, like, and your rewards got cut in half. Man, you need Bitcoin to pump incredibly hard for you just to stay in business. Like I couldn't imagine that kind of pressure. And I hope it does. And it probably will, because who knows, the Bitcoin ETF and all the stuff that's going on. We're entering the bull run, all the things that, all the narratives we hear. But man, I would hate to operate a business like that with the unknowns there. It would just be because these guys barely, I mean, when they're in the bear market, they go like they run in the negative, and they have to pay to keep the doors open with all the Bitcoin they mined from the previous cycle. Like they stock up but man, can you imagine that? Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
a crypto business in general that's solely crypto based. I mean, you see it's the volatility on your business, let
Oh,
alone, what you offer is just brutal. Even if your services are good, brutal.
yeah, you're reliant all around the cycles, and man, and it feels like these guys don't even respect the cycles. You see, like on top of the bull market, they start launching all these businesses, and it's like, don't you know, like literally a year from now or less than a year from now, everything's gonna get wrecked up to 99%, and you're launching your business now? Like, shouldn't you have launched this 2 years ago when we're in the bottom of the bear? Like, it's
Seriously.
wild to me. They don't think through these things.
My wife and I were talking about this very thing last night. We were sitting on the couch, and she runs our dog breeding business that we were running at a really high level. And she said, "You know what? I'm annoyed that I bought." So she bought the top essentially. We were crushing it, and she was like, "I think I'm going to double down and really grow this business during essentially just shortly like a year after COVID." And so things went bananas. We did really good in that business. She's like, I'll double down. And then the market, essentially, there was, I feel like, 3 years of dog buying supply all at once during COVID and that year after. And then they're gone. That 3 years was done in one. And the next few years have been brutal for most people in that business. And I just find it so fascinating that in general in life, it's a life skill. A crypto can be so useful for life that when you're feeling euphoric and other people are too, well, that's not the time to double down on that thing that everyone's euphoric about. It's probably time to look to sell. And when everybody's saying, hey, this thing sucks, I would never do this again, people are crazy that are here, well, that's the time to be a buyer. And it's fascinating to learn that not only in crypto, but for other things that go on in
Other
life as well.
industries. We saw it in our real estate wholesaling space.
Yep.
The top was kind of rolling over, and you go to the events, and everyone's like beating the drum. It's time to double and triple down. You need to be spending 2 times, 3 times, 4 times in marketing. Like, no, bro. Like, this is the top. Get out.
This
Get
is time to
out.
get
Like,
out.
it's
Yeah.
getting ready to roll over. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. On a positive real estate note, my house is my personal residence in Utah is sold, which is
You
wild.
you have cut all ties
Almost.
back.
I've got one rental left in
But
Utah
that's
that I
not
need to
like
get rid of.
Yeah, but you've cut your ties of living, like
I
like,
have. It's
you know what I mean?
crazy.
Like,
It feels crazy. This is the weirdest part about all of it though. So my wife and I, we took our last night in Utah. My parents don't live very far away from our old house there, and they were out of town. So we got all of our stuff out of the house other than some garbage that needs to be tossed. We went to my parents' house to stay the night before we flew out the next morning. So like we had a place with towels and all the stuff that we needed to prep for the next day, and we had to run back one more time to get some odds and ends. So left kids with a babysitter at my parents' house. We ran back for one last big load. My wife and I, it was beautiful. My wife and I had like a moment to like record and reflect on all the cool memories there, and then we left. And I haven't looked back since. I don't feel regret. I don't miss it. Like I've been ready to move on, and it feels good to finally be doing it.
you're while you're following some of your life purpose too, and you're going with the flow that the universe is guiding you towards, and you're not fighting it, even though it's a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. I'm the same way. I'm going with the flow, and every once in a while you get uncomfortable, and you're like, oh, you get a little bit scared, and it's like, wait a minute, now this is like this is part of the story. Let's move forward. Let's lean into it. Leaning into fear is always some of the best things you could do in building businesses, whether it's like, obviously crypto. Think about like when you're buying the SEC blood, that was leaning into fear. Like literally, like you're like, this is I want to throw up because I just dumped all this money down the toilet. And you didn't, but like it feels that way. It's just
Right?
like, oh, that's always seems to be the answer in life. You get comfortable so easy, man. It's so easy to get comfortable wherever you're doing in life, whether it's your 9 to 5, whether it's your entrepreneur journey. I mean, as you know, Dane, I was very comfortable in my real estate journey, and I didn't want to leave real estate to go like build this crypto business and go all in on crypto. Like I would have sat there and kept doubling and tripling down like the gurus were telling me to do. Like, you need to triple down and get more competitive. What? It's the top. But that's what was comfortable. And that's what's comfortable for them. They don't want to leave their industry because they're so comfortable where they're at. And so it's really remarkable how anything in life you have to lean into fear and get out of your comfort zone to like move forward, whether it's financially, mentally, spiritually, physically. I mean, it's like I've been running a lot. Every morning I get out, every morning, but it's like every other day. I get up and I get a good 3 to 4 mile run in. But like you get up and it's like you have to push yourself because it's not comfortable to get out there at 6 in the morning and do a run for 3 or 4 miles. That's not comfortable. It just isn't. You have to push yourself because you want to level up physically. You want to make sure that I want to be here to, man, I'm 100. I want to be here till I'm 120. Like, like hang out with my daughter and see her kids. But I got to push myself out of my comfort zone physically if I plan on doing that. It's just how it goes to life, man. It's just it's funny how it works.
It is. It's fascinating. So real life lessons to be learned and from crypto if you want to learn them. Lots of opportunities. Man,
There is.
we've been doing a fun. So Corey and I are working incredibly hard to be some of the biggest onboarders to Pulsechain, period, that there could be for this bull run.
I would argue that we're either number 2 or number 3. Like we're up
Agreed.
there. Like maybe I know who number 1 is, and we're gonna come for you. We're coming for you, bro.
We're coming for you. Agreed. And it's been fun. So this week we're doing a master class where people can come and essentially we teach them about crypto. We teach them about Pulsechain and some of the other assets that are here on the blockchain. And one of the guys was like, we said that the bull market was just beginning, and he said, what? And I've been thinking about that ever since yesterday. It's fascinating to see something like Bitcoin. It's already ran. Those of you that are here are probably already aware. Bitcoin's already ran, right? It's not cheap anymore. And it's funny how time and time again, even still, like it's funny how your emotions are often betray you. And so we were talking about how there's still stuff on Pulsechain that are undervalued, and it's an exciting time to be here when we're still early.
And that's it. I mean, there's still a lot of opportunity all over the space, even though, I mean, some of your maxis might get mad at me, but you could actually get outside of Pulsechain and find other opportunities. I mean, Phantom is still a great opportunity. AVAX is some of the protocols that are being built on these chains. I mean, there's still opportunity there. I love Pulsechain. That's my home. And there's a lot of opportunity on Pulsechain. It's amazing. So the space is full of it right now. But to your point, Dane, everyone sees Bitcoin making all-time highs, and they think like the bull run has been on for the last year. Yeah, it has been for Bitcoin. In fact, that was a learning lesson. I should have. Bitcoin's bull run comes first. It rocks really hard first, and then the rest of the ecosystem rocks really hard. Like we could have rolled Bitcoin up all year last year, and had swapped over into our favorite assets at like a 2x or at least a 1.5x from what we could bought into a Bitcoin last year. That's a lesson learned. It was a great lesson learned. And I'll know that for our next cycle is that Bitcoin is the first mover, and it will always probably be the first mover just because it's the main asset that drives all the liquidity. Everybody wants to be in Bitcoin. And so, yeah, it's so for Bitcoin, the bull market's been on, but for the rest, it hasn't.
Right. Yeah. Agreed. Let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen here real quick.
And while you're doing that, for all you guys watching, hit the likes, smash that bell notification, especially if you're over on Twitter. I see you guys are watching on Twitter, which is awesome. But come over and support our show. It helps the algorithm, helps get our message out. We're going to be here onboarding and touting the good message of Pulsechain all throughout this bull run. We want to onboard as many people as we can and pump all of our bags.
Yep. Shout out to Sami. He shared a tweet about our show yesterday where we talked a little bit about liquidity providing. I see Super Snake is in here. Yeah, out there providing liquidity. Good for you guys. I like it. It'll be really, really freaking fun to see what the Ink token is worth at the end of this bull run when it's time to take profits, to see what the impermanent loss
$1,000 per coin.
Actually,
I have no idea, guys. Don't know like.
That's not a 10,000x. Why are you so bearish?
Oh, why am I so bearish? Damn it! Right. Wait, when is a cycle one asset, cycle one narrative? Like, why am I so bearish?
But no, it's fascinating to see the yield farming rewards. Just just be cautious out there when you're doing that stuff. If you have not done any liquidity providing, I'm not talking to Super Snake. He's been around a long time. If you have not, though, I'd heavily recommend coming in, trying it with just a little bit, like literally use a few $100, test it out, measure how things go, and see if it's something that you're willing to stay in the game on. The name of the game, like we've said time and time again on our show, whether it be, marriage, the name of the game with marriage is not to get married once and then be done with it, but to stay married. The goal of getting fit is to continue to be fit. The goal of being in business is to build something that's profitable and continue to be profitable. The goal with crypto is to build something in such a way, build a portfolio and do activities where you can stay in the game and change your life forever. And there's some things that many people just ought not to do because it wears them out. I was talking about this with one of our community members, Corey, and I said, look, like if it's too much, if the volatility is too much and the activities you're currently doing, then like take a break from it. You don't need to be looking at it every day. You don't need to be on Twitter. Like take a break. We're not here to sell tomorrow. Everything's going to be fine. I think everything's going to be great. Give it a year. We'll be good.
Yep. Agreed 100%. I mean, when you're knee deep in this stuff, it can get toxic, especially on Twitter. Especially on Twitter.
Yep. Especially. Yep. That's fun. Yeah. P-Dye to the moon. This is an interesting narrative.
Sir, you're going to piss off the maxis.
I think the P-Dye narrative is a good one. I think it's fascinating. And I think there's a big difference between saying and touting that P-Dye is going to peg to $1 and talking about the narrative in general, right? So all we're here for is to find things that people want to speculate on. People love speculating on the P-Dye narrative of what happens if it gets to $1. Well, do I think that it gets to $1? Do I think it's going to peg there and be Richard stable? Well, no. Absolutely not. I don't think either of those two things happen, but I think enough people think it's an interesting enough narrative that they're willing to bet on it, and that speaks to opportunity. And so, do you want opportunity, or do you want to sit on things that are doing nothing on the price chart? You got to make a decision. It's neither right nor wrong, just a different way to approach the game. And I like the PDI narrative. I think it's interesting.
Damn you, Dane, for being open minded. Wow. You're just going to piss off all our friends now.
Right. And if you're not about it, that's fine too. I respect it. Lots of ways to play the game. But man, like there's some pretty unique
I
ways to make a lot of money here over the last couple of months if you were plugged in. And a lot of people, if you were just holding things that weren't moving, well, they're still not moving.
Yeah, I think, man, if when Pulsechain really gets its bull run and it starts going, I mean, just like in Solana, you saw it. Like the meme coins, man, are going to freaking moon. It wouldn't surprise me, like if Teddy Bear and PDI were like the premier meme coins on Pulsechain. And guys, look, I don't own any PDI. I don't. I do own some Teddy Bear though. I do own some bear, but I haven't. The PDI has never given me the opportunity to get in. I mean, it has, but I haven't. I didn't act on it. So I don't own any PDI. But do I believe it could go to $1? Look, man, narratives are strong and people can buy that shit up until it does. It won't peg there, but it can sure in hell touch there.
Yeah, agreed. We're here for it. It'll be fun to see. Yeah, exactly, Philip. Yeah. He says, don't necessarily believe it will, but the speculation helps the hype.
That's
And
all
that's
you
what
got to do,
matters.
dude.
That's
That's
it.
what people don't understand. Like, crypto is driven by narratives. In the story, how strong is the narrative? That's the strength of that narrative will drive the price performance of the coin. Listen to that. The strength of the narrative will drive the price performance behind the coin. That's just how crypto works. And we're seeing how big this narrative and how many community members are in it.
Yep. Exactly. Super Snake says IMO for anyone with 100K plus in this RH game to not stack at least at 1 MP die. Oh, it's foolishness. Yeah. Corey's talking to you.
I should stack
Time to
some
get your
PDI.
bag.
God, oh, sheesh.
Buy the top of this green
You gotta
candle,
buy
sir.
the top of this. Can we get a pullback? Can one of you guys dump? Super Snake, can you dump to get me a buying opportunity? Because I don't want to buy the top of your bags.
Here's an interesting one, Corey, that I want to talk about, and I'm glad that Beyond All brought this up. So there's a lot of speculation going on out there of like, in fact, I even saw a timer this morning where somebody was counting down. I think there's like 17 more days till Pulsechain has been out 50 weeks. And people are saying, after 50 weeks, you've shaken out the weak hands, and then we can go parabolic, like Hex. Do you buy that? Do you think that 50 weeks is a magical number, and then we just start sending it? What are your thoughts there?
I mean, here we go again. This is a narrative. And so, like, will the narrative pump the price a little bit during that time? It might. Like, you might see a bump on the price chart because people start buying because they're like, oh, the weekends are out. That's a narrative. And then, then sellers will prove you wrong. I should do that. The sellers prove you wrong. But I mean, it's also lines up. It's kind of ironic. It aligns right up with the Bitcoin halving, too. Like, it's kind of really ironic that it's like the Bitcoin halving is also in 17 days, 17 or 18. It's right around the corner, man. What's today? Today's the 3rd, and the Bitcoin halving is on the 20th. Yes, 17 days. Like it lines. What are the
Right
odds of
there,
that?
yeah.
That the 50 days or the 50 week shakeout lines right in.
Oh, we lost your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, gotcha.
No,
Back. Yep.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. So it's ironic that they both line up in sync together. And so, you get a couple of narratives that might pump the price chart temporarily there. Who knows?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The next one, do you think so realistically, let's pretend that the SEC case gets dropped this month with Richard, and Richard has, he feels totally comfortable to start streaming again, to
Oh,
do all
shit.
that type of stuff. What do you think in your heart of hearts? How does the price chart respond? And once again, we don't give any financial advice here. There's a couple of dudes on the internet we're speculating ourselves. We have no idea what will happen. What are your instincts telling you personally for your own holdings?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking a little bit this yesterday. I believe that we'll blast through the all time high and then turn that to support. I don't think we're gonna go do a 50x overnight. No, we got a lot of you have a lot of different like Sprackburger. Sprackburger uses bosses you got to beat on the way up, and each boss gets harder and harder to beat. You can beat them, especially in a bull market. But I think we blast up and where these levels are at. We kind of go through the all-time high where we're in price discovery, but then like some sellers would step in, and we turn that all-time high into support. That's what I think would happen. I mean, I don't know. That's strong. That's a lot of buying. That's a lot of economic energy for us to do that, especially in a very short time frame to do that. Where you would have a lot of bigger whales. I do believe there would be some whales that would come into the ecosystem that needed more confidence, needed more clarity. That people who were like, I know one whale. This guy, he's I don't know if he's a partner over at Coinbase. I know this because I remember when the SEC FUD came out. This guy was dumping billions. I'm talking like 20 and 30 billion pulse clips at a time. He was dumping and dumping, and this guy's like partner, or he works over at Coinbase. He's some big hot shot over in Coinbase. I won't mention his name, but like this guy, he will probably only come back when there's full clarity. When there's full clarity of the case, when there's full, we're probably not going to see him back until then. And if even say he does come back, I'm not saying he will, right? We don't know that. But there are going to be guys like that who they're just not going to invest until they know that, all the shackles have been kind of taken off, if you will. And then it can do what it can do. I mean, yeah, you're not going to see the full potential of Pulsechain until there is more clarity on the other side. You're not going to see the full potential of this chain until we're in the clear. And then you're going to see the full potential. And what does that potential look like? I have no idea. That's where some of the, guesstimates or what people were speculating pre, SAC or launch day, maybe some of those come to fruition. Not the 10,000x Moon Boy guys, but like some of the more conservative expectations that we all talked about back in the day. So it'd be interesting to see. But because that is stronger than just a narrative. That is like you're releasing the shackles to me. You're allowing bigger players who need a lot more confidence and surety in their money to enter back into the ecosystem.
Yeah, I like it. I'm with you 100%. Yeah, Richard timed it, says Hexaladin. I like it, man. We're gonna see. It's gonna be fun. I think it's more likely that it's a nothing burger. The whole 50 weeks. Too many people know about it this time around, and you have a lot heavier bags to pump. And there's still a lot of people that apparently like getting out at these levels, and so we'll see.
It will be fun if we're proven wrong.
I would love to be wrong.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I would love to be wrong. I would love to see the shit go to the moon right around the Bitcoin halving at the 50-week mark. Boom. Let's go.
It'd be great. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Well, cool. This has been good. I need to go jump off for a little lunch before our next call, Corey. We haven't gotten to all the questions, but I think that's all right. Is there anything else you want to cover before we jump off?
No, I mean, I'll just answer one more for the guys. I mean, yeah, have you seen the new project from Pitius called P-Day? Yeah, I mean, there was an ICO going around with it or a sacrifice. You can get into it. It's got the AI narrative in it. Anything with the AI name and its name is probably going to do well. I mean, full disclosure, I did get involved. Not a lot. I put a small bullet in. So do what you want with your money, though. I have no idea they could rug. Like, seriously, we don't know. But I like the idea that they have the AI narrative and that kind of built into the protocol. It could be good. So yeah, that's it.
Agreed.
But yeah, man, we could hop off and come back in tomorrow, or maybe hopefully we have a little more time. Or we are busy this week with the master class. It's been a lot of fun, and so yeah, it's been a blessing with you guys. Guys, come on, hit the likes, hit the subscribes. We're gonna keep bringing you this content Friday, we'll have open mic show, which we always love. You guys can come on and rap with us about real estate, about life experience, entrepreneurship, and in crypto. So
Absolutely. That'll be good. All right, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for jumping in. We
peace.
appreciate you.